Double salute in the building. You already know what it is. Your boy Fluence is up in here with some Fluence boxing, and not just any type of Fluence boxing news, but I got a reaction video for y'all as well with some Fluence boxing news. I mixed it in together this time, so let me get straight to it. Y'all see the title below. Big baby Jarrell Miller fought over the weekend. As per promised, after his last fight in Mexico, he said he's going to be doing this goddamn thing every other week, every 2 weeks, every month. So don't be surprised if you hear his name again, which we have. I had no idea he fought over the weekend. I literally just found about it because I was, looking through some articles, looking through some things, and all of a sudden Big Baby Miller's name pops up, talking about he got a KO win, etc., etc. So of course, your boy had to go ahead and watch the actual KO with the Black Goose TV family and see if I can get any details on this. I'm not that much intrigued, or do I really give a fuck about this particular fight, because we all know that Big Baby Miller is basically getting in shape through fighting. All right, he's not taking the normal route. I could say the normal route. Like there's two different routes that you can take to an extent, where you can do everything you can outside of the ring to put yourself in fighting shape, but obviously you can't simulate fighting shape unless you're in the ring. You see what I'm saying? So you can put yourself to a point where, okay, I'm in good shape physically, but now when I go to train for the fight, I'm getting myself into fight training shape, which is completely different than just being in good physical shape, which makes usually the training camps a lot more easier. I won't say easier, but they're a lot more successful. And the fighter, a lot of times when they go into the training camp, say they're a year-round workaholic or they're a year-round weight warrior, whatever the case may be, and they keep themselves in pretty good shape, they're going into this camp not focused on losing the weight. They're focused on and I've said this a million times, if you guys follow me for a long time, just drilling certain aspects of, whatever the game plan is, working on muscle memory, working on skill, and they can focus on that and make sure they're at the top peak level of their performance, while simultaneously being able to shed that weight away, because they've already come into shape. While there's the other way around, where some fighters, they completely just stop working out, and then when they go into training camp, the first 2 or 3 weeks they're trying to get in shape, they're trying to lose the weight, and then the next week is them now maintaining that weight, focusing on the game plan, and sharpening the tools, similar to what I said before, and then that last week is get the weight off. So those camps usually are a little bit, or a lot more, I should say, tougher, and the results can vary in comparison to someone who's already in shape. And when they get into the camp, they're just focused on, maintaining a weight, and then, really making sure that the skill level, the skill set, the game plan, etc., is in place for when they go in there and they can perform in the ring. And then, of course, now when you get into the ring, now you're talking about ring rust. And now the more you're in the ring, the more comfortable you can get your timing, etc., etc., etc. So there's like 3 steps to it, right? In Big Baby Miller's case, he's not a guy who's a workout warrior. He's keeping himself in shape outside of it. Obviously, he enjoys his craft. He does his craft. I'm not saying he's just sitting on his ass and he's doing nothing, but he's made it known himself. Even after the last fight, he's made it known. He said, "Hey, in my last fight, I worked out. My training camp was at Burger King. You know what I'm saying? It was 3 weeks ago. I wasn't doing shit but eating. You know what I'm saying? Found out about the fight and I started training." So Big Baby Miller is not known, and you could tell by his physique that obviously he's not a guy who's just going to get up off his ass, stay in shape, do something consistently if there's not nothing at the end of the tunnel, right? He has to have a reason for it. So Big Baby Miller is taking the road, or the path of, hey, I'm going to get in shape by fighting every 2-3 weeks. This is how I'm going to get in shape. And this is going to motivate me to stay in the gym, because some people need that, especially as you get older. You have to understand, if you're not naturally someone who is able to keep themselves in shape, stay in the gym, keep a regimen without someone telling you, it's very hard to do it without having a reason for it, right? So in Big Baby Miller, I'm pretty sure, this is me all speculating, in his mind and what his work ethic is, what works best for him is, hey, I don't care if I'm fighting bums. As long as I'm fighting these bums, it's going to motivate me to get my ass up, get in the gym and work out, try and get this weight off, while simultaneously getting my legs back in the ring, my timing back in the ring, etc. Like, I'm pretty sure for him, he's like, if I don't have these fights, I'm not going to work as hard. But if I have these fights, I know I need to get my ass up. So this is me speculating, but also kind of coming off from what he said, in that video after his last fight. It seems as if his whole entire goal and his plan and how he's gonna get back in shape is, I'm gonna fight every month, I'm gonna fight every 2 weeks. It's gonna motivate me to stay in the gym, stay in shape, and then I'm gonna be able to also, progressively and slowly get my timing figured out, get the ring rust knocked off. So, sometime by mid next year, I'm gonna be back down to the normal weight I'm used to. and I'm gonna have my timing at the same point. So he's trying to kill two birds with one stone. That's what it seems like, in my opinion. Will this work? That's the question. Will this work? Because would you say this is a fast track to try to get to where you need to be? Are you cheating a little bit? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You coming off the PD? Is this cheating a little bit, or is this smart? I don't know, man. You gotta, like, when I look at it, what works for you works for you. If he needs to have these little throwaway fights to motivate him to stay in shape and to work out, then do it, right? But at some point, you have to look at it and be like, man, if you need these throwaway fights for you to stay in shape and to work hard, you was never meant to be a champion, because a champion don't need that type of motivation. The champion could be sitting on his ass and a nigga can tell him, hey, you look fat, and they gonna go put in 2 hours of work. You feel me? The littlest things. And then when I'm saying from you, big baby, is like, my nigga, you need a whole entire fight just for you to be like, oh yeah, I want to do this shit and stay in shape and make sure I do. But it's all speculative. That's just what I'm saying from the outside looking in. I've talked enough. I know y'all like, damn, it's supposed to be reaction video. So let's go ahead and get into this goddamn KO. I know it's going to be sloppy. I'm very interested to see his shape. From what I'm seeing from this little standstill, the guy he's fighting should not be in there with him, just like the last guy he was fighting shouldn't be in there with him. Big Baby Miller, from what I'm seeing, he looks a little bit in better shape than he was the last fight. Not much. I'll give you guys the details because I have an article here as well that I'll read while this is playing. But first, I'm going to play this. Let's look at the KO. Let's see how he looked. I'm not going to be impressed. I don't care how nasty it will be, because it's obvious he shouldn't be in the ring with this guy. I don't know who he's fighting, but hey, like I said before, this is his way of, making sure that he gets to the point where he needs to be physically, as well as, I guess, mentally, to maybe chase some big fights next year. But with that being said, before I, start this joint up, go ahead, hit the like button, please. Subscribe to the channel, Road to 5K. You already know what it is. But let's go ahead and watch this video, because y'all not here for me. Y'all here for this. Get it. Okay. Seems like he's throwing a little bit more combinations, which I like. Uppercut came. I'm going to wind that back. I'm going to turn this music off. It's a little distracted in my personal opinion. I like the jab. Looks like he's throwing a lot more, which I wasn't necessarily seeing in that first fight. Okay, so they just called it after that. He looked in a lot better. He looks in a little bit better conditioning than he did in the first fight. I'll give him that. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's lost a little bit more weight. Apparently, this was a 4th round KO. Those were nice combinations. Like that look, I didn't see the whole fight, but in comparison to the first fight that he had with Cardenas, like 2-3 weeks ago, and how slow, how his range was off, he wasn't throwing his jab in that way. To just see off of this, also Cardenas was a lot bigger than this guy and seemed a lot more game. But I do see, as much as I don't want to give him props for this bullshit, I see a little bit improvement. If you're looking at his physique right here, you can tell he's lost a little bit of weight. He's moving a little bit quicker. So it's basically kind of confirming what I've been saying. The dude he's probably training outside of his fights, but he's probably not going ridiculously hard outside of his fights. I think his whole entire goal is to stay in shape, keep his muscle memory, keep his rhythm. But I think he's getting his real training in the actual ring. Do I agree with it? Man, everyone has their own way of going about it. I don't fucking know. I ain't did shit in boxing like Big Baby has, so I can't tell him what to do right and whatnot, but that's how he's going about it. So I do want to say this on the article that was written on it. Miller did drop weight from his last appearance in the ring, exactly 1 month. So it was 1 month ago, which was in June. He scaled at 341 pounds in that fight when he fought Cardenas in June. This time around, he fought at 328. He fought at 328. So he's dropped over 13 pounds, which is good. And he looked it. I can definitely tell. He's dropped that 13 pounds. So he's on his way. It looks like he's probably making his way to 300, under 300, So Miller's usual fighting weight is around 280 pounds. So there's a long way to go for this leading promotion star. He's on the right track, though, by keeping active. So I wouldn't be surprised, if you want to be honest with you, by the end of this year, we'll see Big Baby close to 300 pounds. And remember what I speculated on the original video when he first announced his comeback and his first fight. I said, hey man, don't be surprised if he continues to fight, keeps dropping his weight during these fights, and then he's looking to take a pretty big fight sometime early next year. Because how the heavyweight division is going right now, man. It's wide the fuck up. It's wide the fuck open for somebody like Big Baby Miller to come in and either have a big fight, challenge for a big fight, or get a big payday. Like, he's still there despite all the shit that he's went through. He's fortunate enough to be in a position where the heavyweight division does need somebody like a Big Baby Miller, where they can at least utilize him 1 or 2 times, whether he wins or not. So let me guys, know what you guys think about this particular video. Try to be as unbiased as possible, just being straight up with you. He does look in better physique. He does look in better shape. He looks a lot faster, but either way, he's fighting a bum, respectfully. Can't take too much away from this. He's probably going to fight at least 3 to 4, 5 maybe times before the end of the year. So I'm going to be very interested to see how he'll look in his physique at the end of the year, because just off of this second fight, Big Baby still got it. He does. And I do think he's going to be able to drop his weight considerably down to 300 or below 300 before the end of the year. I do think that, regardless of how I think he's going about it is the right way to do it, I think he'll be able to do it. So let me know if y'all disagree with me, agree with me, in the middle, whatever the case may be, man. Drop it below in the comments. As always, man, subscribe to the motherfucking channel. Road to 5K before the end of the year. Y'all already know what it is. Notification gang. Comment on this joint to help the algorithm. And on the honest working nigga side of the game, I will be back. But with more boxing, you feel me? Y'all already know, man. Stay blessed, not stressed. I'm here for now. Back later and forever around.